Hospitals are supposed to be the safest places in the world. Bright lights, clean halls, smiling nurses. That's what I thought, until a nurse pulled me aside and whispered, "Don't react, but you need to see the cameras." What I saw next changed how I look at hospitals forever. Hospitals have a certain rhythm to them. A calm, artificial calm. The steady beeping of machines. The quiet shuffle of shoes in the hallway. Voices kept low, like everyone has agreed not to disturb something fragile. That's what it felt like when my sister was admitted. Nothing dramatic. Nothing urgent. Just a routine stay, observation, fluids, rest. At least, that's what they told us. She joked about the food, complained about the bed, texted me memes to pass the time. If you walked past her room, you'd think nothing was wrong. And that's the most terrifying part. Because when something does go wrong, it rarely announces itself. It blends in. Day 1, everything looks normal. The first day passed without incident. Doctors came and went. Vitals were taken. Charts were updated. Everyone was polite, professional, efficient. I trusted them. Why wouldn't I? Hospitals are built on trust. You hand over your body, your loved ones, your fear, and you assume someone is watching. That assumption almost cost us everything. The subtle things you don't notice at first, by the second day, small things started to feel off. Nothing I could point to, nothing I could accuse. Just patterns that didn't make sense unless you were looking for them. A nurse staying too long in the room. Another nurse avoiding eye contact. Medication time shifting without explanation. When I asked questions, I got answers. Clear answers. Polite answers. But answers that closed the conversation instead of opening it. Everything is standard procedure. Nothing to worry about. She's responding well. Those phrases are designed to end curiosity. And they work. The nurse who broke protocol late in the evening when visiting hours were almost over, a nurse I hadn't seen before, came in. She was different, not rushed, not smiling. She checked my sister's chart, then looked at me. Not the friendly glance you're used to, a measuring one. Then she did something subtle. She stepped closer and lowered her voice. "Has anyone shown you the camera footage yet?" I laughed. "Camera footage of what?" She didn't laugh back. Instead, she said 4 words that instantly tightened my chest. "They didn't tell you. Don't react." She asked me to follow her. Not to an office. Not to a nurse's station. To a small, windowless room near the back. Security. She closed the door and looked at me again. "Whatever you see," she said, "don't react." Not yet. That sentence alone told me everything was about to change. She turned the monitor toward me and pressed play. What the cameras showed at first, it looked exactly like I expected. My sister lying in bed, machines humming, lights dimmed for the night. Then I noticed something. Timestamps. The footage skipped, not missing, just fast-forwarded. Someone had been in the room far more often than the chart showed. A nurse entering, standing still, not checking equipment, just watching, minutes at a time. Then leaving. No notes logged, no reason documented. And it wasn't just once. It was every night. The moment my stomach dropped, then came the clip that made my hands go cold. The nurse leaned over my sister, adjusted nothing, didn't touch any equipment, just whispered something. My sister stirred, confused, half awake. Then the nurse stepped back and waited. Watched, like she was studying a reaction. The nurse paused the footage. "This," she said quietly, "is not protocol. The part no one talks about: hospitals don't like attention. They thrive on reputation. When something happens inside those walls, the instinct isn't always transparency, it's containment." The nurse explained that irregular behavior had been flagged weeks earlier. Not enough to act on, not enough to accuse, just enough to monitor. And in that monitoring, they found patterns. Patterns that didn't show up in reports, only on cameras. Why no one told us? I asked the obvious question. Why wasn't I informed? The answer was chilling, because until it's proven, it's easier to assume nothing is wrong. In other words, silence protects the system, not the patient. What happened next? They moved my sister immediately. Different floor. Different staff. Her condition improved within 24 hours. No complications. No unexplained drops. Just stability. The hospital later told us it was coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences that clean. The aftermath weeks later, I got a call. The nurse from the footage had been suspended. No public statement. No charges announced, just quietly removed. And that's when I realized something most people never consider. Safety isn't about what you see. It's about what's being watched, and who's watching the watchers. The illusion of security hospitals feels safe because they look safe. Uniforms, credentials, systems. But systems are run by people, and people are flawed, sometimes dangerous, and sometimes protected by the very structures meant to protect us. Why I'm telling you this, not to scare you, but to wake you up. Ask questions. Notice patterns. Trust your discomfort. And never assume that normal means safe. Because for 3 days, everything looked normal. Until someone showed me the cameras. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. It helps this channel more than you realize.